What is going on, guys? DBG here, and today we are going to be doing a video where, well, doing another tier list where we rank the best pink diamond cards in NBA 2K21 MyTEAM. The pink diamond tier is a bit of a weird one because it's like there's about 20 or 30 pink diamonds that are released, and then after that it's kind of like nothing, kind of like absolutely nothing. So you've got obviously a couple of absolutely elite ones. Then after that, you're really kind of struggling for anything. So, first of all, we have got Alexei Pokashevsky. I mean, this is a tough one because like Pokashevsky's S tier on next gen, and like it's not even a close one in my opinion. Like he's comfortably S tier, but on current gen, he's probably like A or B tier. So he's probably the sec. No, he's not even in the top 2 on next gen. So I'm gonna put Pokashevsky in A tier. But Pokashevsky is incredible, lads. Pokashevsky is incredible. Like if you are on next gen and you need a like 8 to 10k power forward, I mean Pokashevsky is the best you can get. But for most people, Pokashevsky will be the best you can get. He is unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable, that card right there. Then we've got Caruso. I mean, Caruso, I think I might have to go A because he is one of the best pink diamonds point guards. Like he really is. Like obviously Nick Batum is Nick Batum. Like Batum has come out today or yesterday, and I mean, like these guys they've got nothing on Batum. They've got absolutely nothing on Batum. Basically any point guard that has ever been released at the pink diamond tier. It's got nothing on that guy. But I mean Caruso seems to be pretty good, so I'm going to put him A tier. Alvin Adams. I mean, if we got 3 A tiers in a row, Alvin Adams is really good. He's really, really good. Like, I used him in a squad builder because he's one of the first cards that came up on the auction house. And this card is supremely underrated. Like, his handle's good. Again, he's got like 70 he's got 70 total badges, but I mean, Boris, so does Amethyst Boris Diaw. That's not the biggest deal in the world. There's just so much. There's nothing wrong with the card. That's the thing, is like he doesn't have anything wrong with him except for the fact that he's like, if he could play small forward, it'd be better. He's a little bit too small maybe to play a center. But I mean, a power forward, I mean, he plays perfectly fine. He's perfectly good height-wise to play at the power forward position. His release is good. I think it's Draymond release, and he's got a lot of things going for him. So then we've got Andre Miller. Andre Miller, I think, is a step below Caruso. Again, the pink diamond point guards had been a really, really weak position for that tier, to be honest. Like, I don't think you would be seeing many pink diamond point guards out in the wild for the last couple of weeks anyway. Because like there's like the Quickly and stuff, but I mean I think Quickly was outdated even when he came out. But Andre Miller, I think, is that little bit better than like a Quickly. I think he's gonna go B tier. Andrew Wiggins, I'm gonna put Wiggins in B. He's still good on current gen. Don't get me wrong, he's still good on current gen. But like, if you're asking me who would I rather have, Wiggins or Pokashevsky, it's Poku, and it's not even close at this tier. So yeah, I would say Wiggins is B tier. Again, a decent shooter, only gold range, but I mean, he has some stuff he's a lot of good stuff going from him. His defense is good, a lot better on current gen than next gen. He's terrible on next gen, by the way. So like, if you're talking current gen, like I would say he's like more than usable. But if you're talking next gen, I mean, just don't use the guy. Ben Simmons, I don't rate him. If you're on current gen, I don't know, I don't rate him that highly, but he still bursts and gets Simmons animations. 85, is 3-pointers enough? Like, I think his 3-pointer is good enough that you can get away with using him. I don't think it's the greatest 3-pointer in the world, but it's definitely a high enough 3-pointer that like you're not gonna lose a game for having him in your team, or for like having him on the floor. It's not gonna be that much of a liability. But the hot zones are kind of killer, and he's a terrible dribble style on next gen. I'll give him, and he can't curry either on next, so I'll give him A. I think that's fair enough. Ben Wallace, B. We haven't gotten any of the bad cards yet. Like, these guys are all decent enough so far. They really are all decent enough. So he's a B tier. He doesn't really shoot the ball. He's kind of like a worse Ben Simmons, to be honest. That's probably the best place to put him. Bol Bol, best pink diamond in the game. Actually, is he the best pink diamond in the game? It's between Bol Bol and one other guy. I don't quite know if Bol Bol's probably the best, but I mean, like, I have to admit, I really like Nick Batum. I'm having a lot of success with Nick Batum, honestly, so it's a bit of a tough one. But again, Bol Bol, the fastest player I have used in my team running up and down the floor. Like, I've tried him against Wiseman, and I've compared him to Porzingis. His speed, he is the fastest player with the ball in the game, especially on next gen. On current gen, he's all right. On current gen, he gets weird stutter animations, so he doesn't move as fast as you'd expect with the ball. But his defense is elite. He still moves super fast without the ball on current gen, which means a lot more than next gen. Like, movement without the ball doesn't matter too much on next gen, because a lot of the fast breaks are fast breaks. Players move in weird positions, and players already move faster with the ball than without the ball, so it's not the biggest deal in the world because no one's sticking defense anyway. But in a game that's so defensive heavy, like current gen, which relies a lot more on players off-ball movement, Bol Bol's perfect for that. So Bol Bol, I mean, it's between him and Batum for the best pink diamond, but he belongs next tier. Can we just, I'm going to put in some bad players because I can't just keep putting everyone in S or A tier. I can't just make the whole start list just S or A tier. So, low tiers. Rick Smits. I mean, Rick Smits kind of sucks. E. Or does he? Have I overrated most of these players? I think I might have. I honestly think I might overrate a lot of these players. You go down one. I don't know. I think it's tough. It's tough when so many of these players are just so average. But is there any worthless players right here in this tier? I mean, just because he was an RNG based player, I'm just gonna put him in worthless because it was just, I just don't believe RNG based players should have ever been a thing or been as prevalent as they were in game. So yeah, I guess John Collins, just for that sake, is gonna go into this tier. Who else is there that's pretty bad? I mean, if you're on current gen, Ray Allen's pretty bad. Steve Nash kind of sucks. I'll go Steve Nash with his 25 interior. You go E tier. Rod Strickland. Oh man, I hate Rod Strickland. I hate Rod Strickland. But at the same time, is Rod Strickland 3 tiers worse than Andre Miller? I don't think so. There's too many tiers in this. There are too many tiers on this list. I think I need to get rid of E tier. I'm getting rid of this bottom tier here. It's gonna go D tier and then worthless. Then we're going worthless here. That's better. I mean, it would help if I spelled worthless correctly, not have worthless, but that's better. That's better so far. But yeah, let's go and put in, I mean, Melo probably belongs in C. Melo has some things going for him. As in, he's got blinders. And he's actually, Melo release on quick is good on next gen. But he's not great, is he? I know a lot of people don't like this card at all. I'm higher on this card than most people. Mikal Bridges S. I mean, he's my starting 2 guard, so if I don't have him in S tier, then I don't know. Like, I play him over Jimmy Butler. If you're on current gen, he's not as good as Jimmy. I'm just going to say that right now. He's not as good. He's not that great on current gen. Actually, he's decent on current gen. He's more than usable on current gen. But I mean, if you're on next gen, he's exceptional. Like, for me, base 80, really nice handle, dunks on everybody, all the key badges. He's like my starting 2 guard right now, and he's significant. Like, I've been like struggling so hard with my 2 guard position. Like, I didn't like Jimmy. Struggled using Manu there. Like, my backup 2 guard is now Robert Reed. Like, I'm having more success with Robert Reed and Mikal Bridges than I've had with any other 2 guards on, especially on next gen. Robert Reed, again, is one that I wouldn't... Like, that's just a preference thing. I wouldn't say Robert Reed is... Like, he'd be S tier on my he'll be S tier on my Diamonds tier list if I decide to do one tomorrow, but I wouldn't say he's, like, anywhere near as good an actual player as Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges is just... Man, he's just next level, like if you're talking about guys for his price, he's just next level. Diaw, A. Again, some people don't rate his defense. I think his defense is more than good enough. I think the defense for Boris Diaw is more than good enough in my team. Again, if you don't like it, that is perfectly fine. If you don't enjoy using the card, that's fine. I think his release is incredible. And the fact we have an Amethyst Boris Diaw that plays point guard and is basically the exact same as this card, you better believe I'm excited. Like, I was excited when I saw that. So yeah, Boris Diaw is a player that I've really enjoyed using this year, and I think he belongs in A tier. Bruce Bowen, C. He was good when he came out, though. He was really solid. When he first came out, he was really solid. His dribbling's not the greatest. I used him as my 2-guard for quite a while because he's got half blinders. And he's a really good defender. Like, there was a time for my team where Bruce Bowen was actually in there. But I mean, there are flaws to the card. There are definite flaws with the card. And I can't overlook the fact that he can't really move. Like, that is a quite big problem. So I can't really overlook that. D-Lo, C. D-Lo kind of sucks. And that is the unfortunate truth. D-Lo is not great. The other D-Lo, I don't know how good he'll be, how good he won't be. Right now, I am currently stalling in unlimited games. Like, as I'm doing this, I am currently waiting and jacking up a 3-point shot with 2 seconds to go in in a limited game. Don't worry, I'm not stalling in unlimited, I'm stalling in limited. Because that's just the way it is. If it's to play 10 limited games, you better believe I'm just playing 10 limited games. I got a bunch of goals on my diamond contract, guys, and I'm literally just passing the ball to Goran Dragic, dribbling past the halfway line and just standing there for 22 seconds. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we do get the better D-Lo. It will be interesting to see when we do get him. Probably going to get him. Probably going to get the 3 tomorrow, to be honest. It's going to be tough because I've only got, I guess, 7 unlimited games played and stuff, but that's for a different video. Darius Miles. Better Wiggins, but not quite S tier. Or not quite A tier. So I think B tier is probably a good spot for him. He is, in my opinion, better Andrew Wiggins. I prefer his release slightly, and he's an inch taller. DeAndre Jordan. I mean, he's the best center here. And even though, like, you better believe that I'm a big fan of some of these guys, like center Jaren Jackson Jr., he's not... Like, I get it. Again, most people don't play in the post, but being able to score around the basket does help. Like, and if anyone's telling you, like, it's irrelevant, it is relevant. It's not the most relevant thing in the world, but it does help being able to score around the basket. Even though he's got a 40 post up, 40 post fadeaway, 40 post moves. Like, if they were even the 70s, I would have this guy no-brainer S tier, but it all depends on how you play. If you don't need the post game at all, S tier. If you do need the post game, don't use him. Dom Buse. C. He's a tier below an Andre Miller. He was great when he came out, though. He really was. Like, I was a big fan of Dom Buse. Came out in season 5. Came out around, or his first Spotlight Sims, which was around the time of the 250k finals. And really nice card. Draymond. B. A little bit better, in my opinion, than Ben Wallace. Not quite as good in defense, but a better shooter. And I don't think he belongs... Yeah, I don't think he belongs higher than B tier. He's not quite an A tier. Like, he's not Alvin Adams. Like, yeah, he's not Alvin Adams. He's not Draymond. Or he's not Boris Diaw. Wade, I mean, he's the same as the Opal, and I would have rated Opal at this stage of the game in C tier, so Wade in C tier. Okay. So now we have got Giannis. C. Again, very similar to a Ben Wallace. This Giannis had his time, though. Again, was used in like 80% of the 250k lineup, so obviously people did rate him quite highly for a while. I was never good with him, so I never really rated him highly. I used to love playing against him because it was very rare someone was good with him. But if someone was good with him, then it was he was one of the best cards in the game for his time. It was very rare anyone was good with him. Hakeem. I mean, he's the number 2 best center right here, so we gotta put him into A tier. Actually, no, he's not. Is he? No, I'd rather cheese with Simmons center. I'm gonna put Hakeem in B tier. Hakeem's not unusable though. He's not good. He's not good by any means, but he's not unusable. So I'm gonna put him. Yeah, he's going into B tier. Hakeem Warwick. He's at that similar level to a Darius Miles. He's not quite at the Boris Diaw level, but yeah, I think this is where he belongs anyway. This is a fair spot for him in B tier. Harrison Barnes, C. He's okay though. For a token reward, he's surprisingly good. I mean, like, because we all know token rewards all suck. Like, there's been about 3 good token rewards this entire year. And Pistol Pete's only good on 1 gen. But he's as far as token rewards go, he's actually one of the better ones in game. Emmanuel Quickly, I mean, C as well. He's definitely better than Rod Strickland and Steve Nash. Jack Marin, I don't know, C or D at this stage. He was good for his time. They're all guys that you can just say were good for their time. Let me just... I'm gonna go D tier for Marin, but it's close. He's alright. Jalen Rose, A. I don't think Jalen Rose is as good as Mikal Bridges. But I really like Jalen Rose. Jalen Rose is like left-handed Trevor Ariza. It really all depends. And like, if you like Trevor Ariza, you're going to love Jalen Rose. Well, it depends. If you like Trevor Ariza and you were just like, you know what, I wish he was left-handed, that's basically what you're getting with Jalen Rose. Jameer Nelson, first of all, he's a lock-in right now, so he's expensive. Second of all, don't ever lock in for him. He sucks. He's like a 6-foot-tall Ruby Kevin Porter Jr., but worse. He's like a 6-foot-tall Ruby Felipe Lopez, but worse. He's terrible. He's terrible, lads. He's worthless. 2 cats for some reason. Jaren Jackson Jr., I'll put him in A tier as well. Yeah, Hakeem definitely belongs in B tier. Jaren Jackson Jr. is here as well. He's a really, really solid center. Even though you've got 3 centers, like, I wouldn't necessarily run with... I mean, you could cheese with him as a center, but I wouldn't run with Alvin Adams as a center. Whereas Jaren Jackson Jr. is most definitely a center. Okay, then we have got JaVale McGee. So, JaVale, a tier lower. C. Yeah, I don't think he's as good. He's alright, like, he's like worse Jackson Hayes. Speaking of Jackson Hayes is a cheesy ball handler on next gen, but like, he's a gimmick. Like, there were like no cards like him a while ago. He's like a much worse Alvin Adams, but a little bit taller. Like, he's kind of a gimmick card. Like, he gets no range. He's a low 3-point rating. He's alright. Like, you can have success with the guy. He's very, very mediocre. Joe Smith, I'll go B tier. He's good on next gen. He's bad on current gen, so I'll go B tier. Good height though, 6'10". Yusuf Nurkic, I mean, he's a similar level to Hakeem, so I'll go Yusuf Nurkic in B tier. But it's mad where it's like there's a huge drop off, in my opinion, from A tier to B tier. I think there's a huge drop off. I think that there's about 15-ish really good pink diamonds, and I think there's a huge drop off after that. As the exact same with diamond, like there's probably 15 like great pink diamonds, and then there's a load of like great diamonds, And there's just like a lot of nothing outside of those great ones. Cat. C or B? Low B, I guess. Him versus Nurkic is close. Karl Malone at this stage of the game, D. He's not quite going worthless. He's not as good as JaVale McGee. He's 6'9". So, yeah, let's just put him into this tier right here. So, yeah. Karl Malone is going into D tier. Then we got Kevin Martin, C tier. He's alright. He shoots the ball well. That's it. Can't curry. Can't do much. But he hits open jumpers. You know what? I've used him. He's D. He's not good. Kyle Korver, A. I mean, you could argue B, but there's a gap. Like, he's a lot better than a Wiggins, although I don't believe he's as good as a Trevor Ariza or a Jalen Rose. He is definitely A tier. So are there any more S tier? U. Definitely U. Nick Batum, one of the top. If you're on next gen, you can make the argument that off rip, he's a top 3-point guard in the game. Obviously, there is the half blinders. Like, you can put, if you half blinders Giannis, half blinders LeBron. LeBron's probably better than him. But you can definitely make the argument that on next gen, he is debatably a top 3-point guard in the game. He's so good. Like, his movement is good. Pro 3 behind the back. Gets great defensive animations. Unbelievable length. Again, his shooting is really good with base at 40. So, for me, like, I think he's no-brainer. Like, he's no-brainer as for everybody, but he's no-brainer. One of the best, if not the best, pink diamond in the game. Lamar Odom. I mean, he's B tier at this stage. He was good for his time, and I can't wait till we get another Lamar Odom. Like, if you guys know how good that Lamar Odom was for his time, and they gave Lamar Odom PG base, I'm telling you, later on in the year, especially on next gen, if they give us a point guard, I thought we were going to get point guard Lamar Odom. I was really hoping for that. Because if they had given us point guard Lamar Odom with his animations and a PG base and very quick, or you don't even need point guard. If we got two guard Lamar Odom, there's too many point guards at this stage in the game. I don't want point guard Lamar Odom. I want 2 guard Lamar Odom. Because that's the card that could completely be a game changer. Okay, Magic Johnson center. B. I've actually had some games where I've done really well with center Magic Johnson. There have actually been a couple of games I've done really well, but then I've struggled really badly in some other games. I've used him at center, used him at power forward. I think he's probably best at center. He's like in my opinion, probably a worse version of that. What's his name? He's probably a worse version of that Simmons card. It's probably the best way to describe him. But look, you can get much worse cards in the game. So let's put him into B tier. Malik Sealy belongs in that Wiggins tier. But I will say, the more I use Malik Sealy, the more I prefer him to Wiggins. It's just Ray Allen base. It's just Ray Allen base. I know it's not a very quick, but I'm just gotten more and more used to how nice that release is. And I'm just starting to shoot better and better with Ray Allen base. So the gap between that and like base 22, which is Wiggins, it feels huge right now for me. So he's B tier, but I mean, of all the 2 guards in B tier, he's the one I play best with. Okay, then we got Miles Bridges. If he could, you could argue him in A tier if he could play the 2. He's 6'6", he's too small. He's got a good release though, decent at small forward. He's a little bit too small. Then we've got Nikola Vucevic. See, he's not good. He's not good at all. I'm pretty sure he's got one of those set shots similar to what like Vlade has. I've tried him. I wanted to give, like, in other years I did like Vucevic. I really wanted to like this card, but nah, he's not it. This Ray Allen, if you're on next gen, B, but on current gen, he's kind of bad, so I'm going to put him C. I think that's probably the fairest spot for him. C tier. Richard Duma, B. He's not quite A tier, but again, like, I have to put like Duma, Hakeem Warwick in the same tier because it is really preference with them. These guys just a step above right there. Then we got Rocco. Now, this is a tough one. This is a tough one. There are three tough players, or two tough players. Roko and Surge. I really want to put Surge in this tier, but there's so many good centers. I think I'm going to put Roko in this tier and say that the best team you can make of Pink Diamonds is Roko, is Batum at the 1, Bridges at the 2, Roko at the 3, Bol Bol the 4, and DeAndre Jordan at the 5. And it's a close one as well, in my opinion, between DeAndre Jordan and Serge Ibaka. I really like Serge Ibaka. If it's me personally, I'm taking Serge Ibaka over DeAndre Jordan. But I know most people would have DeAndre Jordan over him, so I'm gonna keep DeAndre Jordan there. But yeah, let's just keep it as 5 in S tier. Just keep it in 5. Scotty or Shane Battier A. Battier is like, he's got the half blinders. He's a little bit taller than the rest of the guys in the lower tier. He's just got a little bit more about him. Base 40, which is a release that I do like. Battier, very good on next gen. In my opinion, like Battier is close to like a Malik Sealy or a Andrew Wiggins or like a Hakeem Warwick. I think he's close to all them on current gen, but he blows them out of the water on next gen, which is why I have him in a tier higher. I think he's a little bit worse, but a tiny bit worse on current gen, but way, way better on next. Then we got Scotty. I think Scotty belongs in B. Really solid defender. I mean, his shooting is lacking a little bit because of his release, but I mean, he's an all-around solid card. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, C, I guess. I kind of liked him at the time, but I haven't really used him, and I've just looked at his stats. Like, they're outdated. Terry Dishinger, man, I love this card so much. I love Terry Dishinger. I mean, him versus Wiggins is a debate, so we gotta go B tier. Oh man, I played so much of this game for Terry Dishinger. I will never forget how much of this game I played for Terry. 900 games. 900 games. I watched every episode of Gossip Girl. I watched from the very start. I watched from start of season 1. Man, I watched so much TV during that grind. Like, I watched more TV during the grind with Terry Dishinger than I did in the year previous. And we got Trevor Ariza, A. Jalen Rose, but right-handed. But yeah, this is the tier list. So we've got S tier, we got A tier. B and C are the two heaviest tiers. Then we've got D tier and worthless tier. And honestly, you can take John Collins out of worthless tier if you want. I just put him in there because, well, these glitch rewards were a joke. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.